you are probably one of the most prolific lead hackers, meaning, you're seeing a lot of success.
And so I was sitting there thinking the end of last year, and I was thinking, this is great. How do I get this in front of more people? And that's when you added that HELOC ad and it popped up on my feed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to throw a couple $1,000 at this and see what happens. I'm going to commit 3 months, like we were talking about. 3 months. I'm going to follow everything they say, $35 a day.
And how did it go?
I just got a $430,000 VA loan that I closed about 2 weeks ago. But I would say probably 19 closings in 6 months.
Nice.
From that day. I mean, obviously everyone likes to make money, but this job is really helping people. And that's what you have to remember.
Simon Glenn, the legend.
What's up, my friend?
How are you?
I'm good. I got a little bit of a late start on my travel today. And
you've been traveling a lot lately.
Yeah, that's right.
Appreciate you hopping on this call with me. Obviously, I've been trying to get with you for a while because you are probably one of the most prolific lead hackers, meaning, you're seeing a lot of success. And obviously, anytime somebody's seeing success, I want to hop on a call with them and use it as a learning opportunity for other, lead hackers. I know that one of the things that you guys do over at Nexa is you get the graphic design with the ads as well as like your phone number on the ad, which, by the way, we've just incorporated into lead hackers. So
that's awesome. That's going to be a game for sure.
Right. Yeah. So we're coming out with a bunch of video ads too for Lead Hackers Plus. I actually use you as a case study, and I call you the HELOC King.
That's funny. I don't know if I'm the HELOC king, but I mean, the thing that ad has done, and this is what people don't get, is first off, the HELOC is a funnel. And what attracted me to your service was because I was already taking our Nexa white labeled figure link, our Accent HELOC, and putting it out online. And I was getting people to just apply and close loans or apply, and they weren't eligible, and then I'd sell them something else. And so I was sitting there thinking the end of last year, and I was thinking, this is great. How do I get this in front of more people? And that's when you added that HELOC ad and it popped up on my feed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to throw a couple $1,000 at this and see what happens. I'm going to commit 3 months, like we were talking about. 3 months. I'm going to follow everything they say, $35 a day. And the one divergent thing that I did was I used our MLO box flyers.
Right.
And
with the phone numbers on, just for our listeners, basically, these are flyers that have your picture, your NMLS number, your phone number right on the ad directly, so you can actually take incoming calls as well. Yep. And how did it go?
It went great. I think it was 3 days, and I had my first HELOC scheduled to close. It wasn't a lot of money, but already a 300% ROI.
Nice.
At this point, I was actually just talking to an insurance agent about it. It's like, finding these different streams of income. And I kind of refer to the HELOCs as my side hustle. And I say that, although I just got a $430,000 VA loan that I closed about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
From that ad. And I actually just closed two more HELOCs that I kind of circled back with from that, and then another one that's in the works. So I mean, all in all, I've probably done, and I'm not spending tons of money. It's not the main part of my business, but I'm looking to expand with purchase ads. But I would say probably 19 closings in 6 months.
Nice.
From that. 600 or 700% ROI.
That's insane. So for our listeners, right, who are going to be watching this video, what we've done is we've taken there's something called figure.com, and you can only get it if you're, I think, in Nexa, or there's a few other businesses that get it, right?
Yeah, I think there's some wholesale lenders that broker
there's
it.
Two of them. There's Figure and Remen, right? But basically what it is it's an AI application to where what you can do is if you fill out the application, it'll let you know whether you got approved or denied within 5 minutes, right? So it's very quick to get a result. And so what a lot of people, where a lot of people make the mistake, and I was talking to Alan Parker Duke about this. He was talking to a guy that signed up. He did a bunch of HELOCs and he canceled. And then Alan was like, "Why'd you cancel?" He's like, "Well, everybody was just getting denied." He's like, "No, no, no, you don't understand. You have to
You don't
call
understand.
everybody that got denied and turn them into refinances because if
Yep.
they denied for a HELOC, it makes them an extremely viable candidate for all of these other products. That's the point,
They, they
right?"
need the money. And just because they don't qualify for a HELOC, and that's, I mean, that's, I think I've had like two FHA conversions, a couple of reverses that, one of them withdrew. They saw the whatever. It's still there.
Right.
That VA loan. I mean, I think I've probably sold about $1 million in regular loans,
Uh-huh.
just from that were converted, that were denied for the HELOC.
Right.
And if you consider that I was able to place a couple with a different a different wholesale HELOC lender, I'd say that number's probably more like 1.5 million,
Right.
which, I mean, I know isn't like huge numbers when you look at, like, this person's closing $30 million in loans
Right.
this
Like a
year or
Trevor
whatever.
Graving closing 84 million.
Right. But I
Right.
mean, but the way that we get paid at Nexa, that's going to keep my lights on for, the last 6 months. It's not a problem. Like, I see it as a side hustle. And, and so that's, now I've got, I don't know, I think I got like 600 and something leads. And we were going through it because the way that the Nexa figure portal works is we actually get to see the data. So we know not just whether they're approved or denied, but we also, and this is why I can put a shameless plug to call me about next opportunities, but and you should,
Should.
because Nexa 100 is 100. But because we white labeled it ourselves and we're funding it ourselves, we get to see all the data. And
Right.
so looking inside of there, I know what somebody's debt to income is, what their income is. I get to see the AVM. I get to see what their FICO score is. I get all the information that I need to convert them to something else.
Right.
And I recently took all of that out of there. And, I think we had 600 leads, somewhere around 400 of them click through to put an application in. And out of the 400, like the people that were denied or didn't go forward with it, we just put together a list. I think we have somewhere close to 160 people
You got
that
to
have
run
a
reactivation campaigns. Let me know. I
FICO
can do that.
score over 640,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
We can take all
and
those people and put them into one campaign, send out a
Yep.
mass tax and reignite.
And then you can go through and like take that spreadsheet that we put together, and then we can sort out who has a FICO score over
Yep.
580. We can
Yep.
actually get into a little better because we see what type of lien it is. So we can say, oh, is this a VA lien? Let's get that into a different thing. And then even looking at the birth date and say, well, this is a candidate for a reverse mortgage. And then
Right.
start marketing those things to help people, because it's really what it is at the end of the day. I mean, obviously everyone likes to make money, but this job is really helping people. And
Yep.
that's what you have to remember. I mean, it's
And I
great to
think
get paid, but it's great to help people.
And I think that's the difference between you and, maybe some other people who haven't been as successful, right? Is you have the kind of mentality to serve. And I think a lot of mortgage brokers and loan officers out there don't. They just want to
No.
line their pockets. And people on the other end of the line can actually hear that desperation. And I think it's a big problem, right now in the community. And the other thing is knowing the products, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to be a skilled LO or mortgage broker to be able to pivot out of HELOC into something else. And the people who lack those skills are not going to do well, right? This isn't a, magic potion. People hear, oh, wait, people can get approved and I don't have to talk to them. Oh, I don't have to do any work. Great. Like,
Hey, that's happened twice. I mean,
right.
that was my original goal with this ad was, if I can spend $1,000 and make $5,000 a month,
Yeah.
which it really, I think I've actually made more than $5,000 a month on average now,
Right.
off of this. And like I said, it's not my whole business.
Right.
I've probably closed close
But
to
that's
40
the
months.
point, right? That's the
Yeah.
point, is that it's not your whole business. Like people are just like, all right, I'm gonna run this HELOC ad and I'm just gonna sit there and wait. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You're like, I'm not waiting on this one thing. I'm going to use different products. I'm going to run different ads. I'm going to not even run different ads, but find different
Yeah.
channels to
Hmm.
bring incoming business, which is so important because guys, if you put all your eggs in one basket and it doesn't work, you're going to be left, with a bad taste in your mouth, right? So I think there's something to be said about you doing that because really you shouldn't just be reliant on one channel. You should
Right.
be, and I tell this to people all the time, they also should be leveraging these leads for realtor relationships. That opens up another channel, right? Or like you
That's,
talking to
yeah,
insurance,
that's,
right?
yep.
These are the type of conversations you need to have to grow your business. And I think the difference between you who's closing, I don't know even know how many loans, and somebody who's closing none is the fact that you're not waiting around, waiting for stuff to happen for you. You're trying to make stuff happen. Big difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's kind of funny that to say that because, with that whole mindset, I actually had somebody who owns, I want to say he owns like 4 retail branches call me yesterday. Somebody I know. He tried to recruit me in the past. And he's like, man, I just looked at these numbers. What the hell are you doing to get that many refinances in Tennessee? And, I mean, I told him what I was doing, but,
Right.
but I also, like I said, like a big part of my business is, investors like debt service coverage ratio loans, fix and flips, and things like that. I do some purchases for owner occupied, about 25%. And so now this has been a good solid, I mean, this year, 20%,
You got to
like,
see our DSCR video ad that we just made. I'll send it to you so you
okay,
can.
I'm gonna check it out. No, I'm,
It's
I'm
pretty
definitely,
sweet. Scott
and
sells close like
I had
20
started
homes.
I had started a purchase lead campaign, but I had to shut it down because UWN changed their program. But I
Right.
mean, I turned that on. I had 5 leads in the first 15 hours,
Wow.
and I just like it blew my mind. But the biggest problem that I have right now is my infrastructure, my personal infrastructure, because I'm too busy. So I'm
Right.
trying to bring people on to help.
I
And
could help you out with that. If you need a connect to virtual assistants, I can
I yeah,
that. We can help you out with all that stuff.
no,
So,
I have one, and she's just trying to get in and learn everything. And
right.
hopefully, I didn't want her to be setting appointments this week because I knew I was going to be traveling a lot.
Right.
So
Right.
looking forward to next week, and she's gonna. We got all the list, and so I just said, here, call these people. I'm sure you're going to shake loose about 10 loans, out of this list of 500-600 people, over the next month, and that's going to be awesome. And then I need to find some help on the back end
Right.
with the loan structuring too. But no, it's been great, and it's I'm looking forward to expanding into some purchase leads, and then just what you were saying, leverage with realtors, and that's my goal for the rest of the year is to, hit up with, I wouldn't necessarily say down payment assistance programs, but home buying programs.
You'll be
Um,
excited to know we just opened this up to realtors, and we just got a partnership with WRE News.
oh wow.
They really like our product. They have like 2.5 million subscribers, and so we're going to be doing our webinars, but for
Mm.
realtors. And the idea here is once we have realtors in the community in the Facebook group, it's going to give you guys the opportunity to collaborate on the coaching calls and give you guys an opportunity to network. So that's something that we're pushing. We have a really big webinar on the 18th for realtors. And they have their own ads, their own separate system. But we wanted to make this a hub where only if you're a lead hacker, you can you communicate with
Collaborate that way. No, it's a good thing.
exactly.
I mean, because I mean that's what they say. Your network is your net worth. So wherever you build your network, and whether it's online or through a community of like-minded people that are saying, okay, scope of influence is going to get me so far. How do I get in front of more people?
Yep.
How do I more people? How can I change more lives? And that's really the why, because it's, not just providing for your family or having the freedom to do stuff, but it's, I mean, this is the thing that's been I've had so much gratitude for this because like the people that I've helped,
Right.
I've really, really helped. Like that VA loan, I think it's saving him $2,500 a month. You know, this
That's
guy has
awesome.
5 kids. You know, I did an FHA loan, saving her $1,700 a month in her monthly liabilities. You know,
Right.
poor, who's battling health issues and just trying to make it happen. Still working full time on Social Security. Changed her life. I had somebody I tried to do it, and I really, I knew better when I tried to get the loan. That's my one denial that I got, and it was very upsetting. But she was so happy, she was so grateful that at least I tried.
Right.
And and I want to say, I mean, I did something just recently. I think it was, I want to say, yeah, single father. It wasn't even a big loan. It's clear to close today. It's like, I mean, you're talking numbers. It's tiny check, $30,000 loan, but it's going to save him $500 a month, and he's going to be able to, he's a middle school teacher, does all this extra stuff on the side. He has side hustles that he does, and it's just going to afford him some extra cash to spend money on his daughter and do things with her. And it's those types of things, like even the smallest checks have the most reward
Yeah.
sometimes. And
Absolutely.
so that's
Absolutely.
like, this is just great opportunity to help people, and it's a side hustle for me. So it's really
Awesome, man.
really.
Well, what would you say to anybody who's on the fence of working with myself, with Brandon, with lead hackers?
I would say call me. Let me give you a link to sign up for Lead Hackers. Give it a shot. I'll go through all my strategies with you. I mean, that was my mentality. I'm like, well, how can I do this? How can I take this investment? And it's very, what's the it's very low commitment, really, when you think about it. You're
Yeah.
trying something out. It doesn't cost much to set it up.
Right.
you know you can spend as much as little as you want. I would say follow the program,
Right.
take the advice, and and try it out, because I swear to God, within 3 days, I've never been negative with this ad spend. I
Right.
was negative for 3 days, maybe 5 days, like literally spent $100, got a check for 1,000, something like that. Like
Wow.
I've never been negative. And I'm saying it's not the biggest check in the world. What I've been doing, it's a side hustle. But I mean, how many people's side hustles can you spend a 10-minute conversation with them? And that's that product, 10-minute conversation with them, and walk away with, $2,000 to $3,000.
Right.
I mean, and you do that 3 to 4 times a month.
Right.
Not, I mean, that's great, you know,
Right. You can do it over and over and over and over and
over and
over.
over and over. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that was it. And I think I might even, like, once I might even try, once I have some more help, I might just try multiplying it and see how it works, and be like, okay, if I can spend $1,000 to make five, what happens if I spend $5,000? By that math, I should make 25, right?
Right.
So I think it's definitely something to explore, and it was something that was one of my thoughts when I started doing this and saying, okay, well, if I can do this and make this, then my plan is to do the same thing, because I think I only started in one state,
Yeah.
and I probably started in the most difficult state to do it in my opinion, which is South Carolina, just because you need to actually have a wet signed settlement statement, instead of like a state like Tennessee, where they'll do it, remote notary all day long.
Right.
Um, but I mean, it's been great. I want to keep doing it, expand on it, multiply, see where it gets me.
Awesome, man. Well, Simon, I appreciate you hopping on a call with me to talk about your experience. It's always awesome to see you win, man. And again, you should, because you've had success with lead hackers, great success, and people know who you are, dude. You should be pushing this affiliate program because you can make a lot of money helping other lead hackers be successful and just start cashing in on the residuals.
Absolutely. I know I've had a lot of interest from it. I've actually led some classes on HELOC conversion, and that's something that we're going to do in the future, you and I know that. And I don't know how many bit or didn't bite, and it doesn't look like any bit yet. Everyone's willing to ask me about it. Everyone's willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what's going on,
And then
but
there's a difference
nobody,
between that and taking action.
nobody wants to take action. And that was, like I said, like I was looking for exactly this, and because it was something that I was playing with as a marketing device already. And then when I saw that ad come through and say, hey, we're doing this now, they can apply directly to your Action HELOC link. So there's another thing you got to do with Nexa in order to get that data, I believe. I don't think you're going to get it from Figure
Other plug.
from a Homebridge or a Lone Star or any of those people that offer the same program.
Right.
So I mean those are the keys for success. Like I never cared about this HELOC until we white labeled it, and I sent the link to somebody I know that was looking for a HELOC, and I said, will you just fill this out? I want to see what it does. And he filled it out, and I saw name, address, birth date, income, DTI, FICO, like AVM, home value, current loan to value. And I was like, holy shit, this is a funnel. This is the funnel on top of all funnels. This is what everybody who's doing marketing is trying to get. It is its own long form, and it gives you all the information that you need to take a look and qualify them to see if they're even worth talking to. And that doesn't mean you don't want to talk to them if they're not. You just send them a
Right.
thing and say, hey, I noticed from your application, your credit needs some work in order to qualify for this program. I've got a great credit specialist to introduce you to. I probably referred 50 people to a credit repair. I don't know how many of them signed up. Maybe what, 5 of them out of 50.
Right.
But
Right.
those are 5 potential clients that I'm going to have at the end of the year once their credit's ready to go, and we're going to get them into another loan. So, it's out there, and it's just what you do with what you get. And I was never interested in this program, or the HELOC program, I should say, before Nexa white labeled it. And once I saw what the information was, I started posting that link everywhere. I posted that link into a real estate community online. I had 17 applications in 5 minutes. Um, Viable people, a couple 800 credit scores in there.
Right. Yeah.
Um, you know, I've had people go in through there and apply for it. I'd never even spoken to them before they were like closing a loan with me. And I call them back, and that built on a relationship with that. I actually had somebody that I did one of these HELOCs with. We are closing, it's a real estate investor. We're closing this 4th loan next week, this year, one person. I got somebody else, same thing. We're closing a loan 2 weeks from now, and he got one of the HELOCs to start, real estate investor. So you never know who you're going to get.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's great to see you win, man. I'm excited to see what the future holds. And by the way, I'm gonna get you those. I'm gonna get you a couple of videos, show you how to upload those.
Awesome.
I do have the HELOC. I do have DSCR too, so I'll send you both of those. And I
Yeah,
think
let's try it out.
it's the script is designed to get you a higher quality client. Like we talk about
Awesome.
fiscally responsible in the video. So the good thing
Yeah.
about video is you can put context in there more so than a still image ad. So I'll let you know when we have those available.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely looking forward to trying those DSCR ones out. That's, something I do quite a bit of those. So it's definitely a little niche of mine already. It was,
Awesome. Yeah, I got to connect you with Scott Seltz. He's closed 20 so far off the DSCR. He's crushing it.
oh, no way.
Might
Awesome.
have some
Yeah.
good info
I'd
for
like
you.
to hear about, what the strategy is, or if there is a strategy, or if it's just
Right.
like, or if it's just like, hammer away and smile and dial. And
Sometimes it is.
right.
Sometimes it's strategy, right? It depends. So, but
No, I mean, I think that's been a key to what I've done is just really kind of worked within your system, and then designed some snippets and things like that. At
right,
first to save time, but then we're also worded effectively to, instead of engaging on the phone, because I mean, you have to protect your time when you're talking about a $50,000, $60,000 loan. Whereas you can just send them a thing and say, here, blah, 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 blah. If you want to talk to me, here's a link to talk to me,
right.
or you can get approved automatically right here. Click on this. I'll say, of people that follow through with that call to action, I would say probably 75% of them click through and do the application before they schedule a
Wow,
call, you
wow.
know, and, that's been a big key. And, I mean, like I said, it's not I'm not going to say it's, you know, at this scale, that particular ad is going to pay all my bills, but it's been really, 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 really great to get that cash in there and be able to use part of it to reinvest and you know, just kind of keep it rolling. And it's definitely been I don't know, it's almost like having a base salary. I will say that, you know, and really kind of
So,
looking at it because I'm looking at it as its own business. It's, you know,
right.
this is the money I need to invest. This is what it produces. And even though it all goes to my W-2 check, it's still saying this is, you know, it's its own business.
A lot of
And
loan
it's
officers wish they had a base salary, right? Most mortgage brokers, they don't have one.
this is true. This is
Right.
true.
Right. That's awesome, Simon. I appreciate you hopping on a call with me, man. And we'll get back with you soon. I'll email you about those videos, and I'm
Awesome.
excited what you can do with those.
All right. Cool
All right,
beans.
man. Talk soon. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Alex.